Livermore Live Music presents Spotlight, shining a light on Livermore's incredible music scene.
Hello, welcome to Livermore Live Music's Spotlight. I'd like to introduce Patrick Russ, Leanne Phillips, and Paul Schimmelman. And I'm Peggy Schimmelman, Livermore's Poet Laureate. I'm here today to read you a couple of poems, but don't worry, they're musical poems, which is why I brought the band. The first one is called Music Man. This was published in an anthology called Double Take, and it was on exhibit at the Bankhead Theater for a while back. Music Man. I like my men, like I like my music, bold with a confident rhythm. Strong on the downbeat, snappy on the backbeat, unafraid of a little improvisation or syncopation, and lively as a Cajun fiddle. Some like a man who's tuned to perfection, steady as a symphony, soft as a love song, smooth as a tango, and classy as a vintage amati. I can dig all that. But I like me a man who can swing me, rock me, and set my foot tapping, make me dance in the street like New Orleans jazz. And now, this next poem is a song now, thanks to Patrick and Leanne who recorded it. It's called A Poem in Three. Patrick and I wrote the poem, and it was published in a magazine called The Wild Musette. And then Patrick took it and made this put it to this wonderful melody, and he and Luann have done a beautiful recording of it, and they're going to sing that for you now.
Make me a love song in 3/4 time. Conjure me, count me in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whisper me, whistle me, dance me, romance me, woo me, infuse me with rhythm and rhyme. I'm a Viennese ballroom, a Tennessee dive. I'm denim and crinoline, sawdust and silver. Seduce me, unloose me, unwrap me, undo me, inhale me, consume me. I'm whiskey, I'm wine. Make me your love song in 3/4 time. Conjure me, count me in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whisper me, whistle me, dance me, romance me, woo me, infuse me with rhythm and rhyme. I waltz across Texas, I'm Norwegian wood, I'm Strauss and Chopin, Jolie Blonde, Clementine. So wrangle, untangle me, Mr. Bojangle me, my amazing grace, sweet Betsy from Pie. Make me your love song 3/4 time. Conjure me, count me in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whisper me, whistle me, dance me, romance me, woo me, infuse me with rhythm and rhyme. 3, 1, 2, 3. Whisper me, whistle me, dance me, romance me, woo me, infuse me with rhythm and rhyme.
Well, that was fantastic. Thank you guys so much.
Yes,
It is
thank you.
so nice to have you here on Spotlight. So poetry is a special form of art, and you apparently have quite the talent for it. That song was fantastic. It wove all these different elements together in a really compelling way. I loved it. Really nice job.
Thank you very much.
By the way, I am big into pets these days. I have a pet manatee. His name is Hugh. I built him a house. It's a house for it's a home for humanity. No, I blew that. I also have a pet newt. I named him Tiny because he's my newt.
Oh,
Okay, all right, I'm done.
right.
I'm done. So you've obviously been doing this for a long time. Tell us a little bit about how you got here in terms of your development as a poet and about the association between your poetry and music.
okay. Well, I've always loved poetry. I've been writing it since high school, really, but I got away from writing straight poetry, and for many years as a young adult, I wrote country songs. I was a wannabe.
No shame in that.
I was a wannabe singer-songwriter who couldn't sing. So I wrote a lot of songs. I finally found a partner who could sing, and the two of us would make cassette tapes back in the day and mail them off to Nashville and get rejected, you know. But so I did that for many years, and then I finally just started writing, concentrating on short stories, and I wrote a couple of novels, and writing poetry along the way. And music, as far as music is concerned, I've always loved music. I grew up listening to the Grand Ole Opry with my parents, and of course, fell in love with rock music in high school.
Yeah.
And so I've always loved music. I'm an amateur musician. I play with a volunteer band. I play. I wanted to do drumming. I tried that for a while, but I mostly just do cajon now. And I play with a volunteer band, mostly at Quail Garden on the deck.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
So I play music. I love music. My husband's a musician behind me here. And so it's just a big part of my life.
That's
So,
outstanding.
and when musicians tell me they don't, you'd be surprised. Many will say, I don't read poetry. I don't like poetry. And I say, you do know that Bob Dylan won the Nobel Prize, or the Pulitzer Prize for poetry, right? Not for singing. So.
Yeah, I mean, writing poetry and writing song lyrics are different things, right? They're not the same.
Right.
But there's certainly an overlap. And I know it's a special skill to be able to take a poem that somebody has written and set it to music in a way that lets the poem shine through. And I thought you guys did just a killer job of that. How did that come to pass? How did you marry the poem with the song?
Okay, I wrote the poem first. I didn't write it as a song. I wrote it, I don't know what gave me the idea. I started writing it, all these songs kept coming to me that I knew were in 3/4 time. And I kept working them into the song. And finally I had a poem. It listed all these songs. And I think Patrick, my husband, started playing with Patrick. And I met Patrick, and I was talking to him one night, and I said, I have a poem, you know, would you look at it? Because I started thinking maybe it could be a song. Patrick looked at it, and he said, okay. He gave it a shot, and then he and I both decided it was not finished, and he put it aside for a while. Another friend of mine took a shot at it, and then we decided it still wasn't finished and put it aside, and Patrick came back and said, let me try it again. So he tried it again, and I think what we were missing was a woman singing it the whole time, and once he put Leanne into it, it all came together really nicely.
That's fantastic. Well, I love it. It's just a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I understand you have another poem that you're going to read for us?
I have one more I would read.
Okay, well, let
That's
me get
okay.
out of your way and let you do that.
As I said, I was trying to be a drummer for a while, and I also had a cajon. I bought a cajon, and I became friends with Brad Herbert, who plays bass in a rehearsal band I was in called the Jammies, and he was playing with Dave Thornton Blues Band. And so Dave talked Dave into letting me play cajon with him on a couple of gigs, which I really loved, until they found a real drummer, and basically I was done. So, but anyway, I wrote this poem. It's right here. It's called Porch Step 12-Bar Blues. Some night, the blues just keep on coming. All you can do is strum that guitar, humming some 12-bar, 3-chord tune about a moonstruck mama or a gambling man or your damn empty wallet. You wail it to the stars, 'cause so far, nobody else wants to listen. So you throw in a verse about God's indifference, not paying attention, not fixing the holes in your low-down, bottomed-out, not fair luck. You're not asking much. A little cash above rent money, loving in the midnight, a low-light open mic blues jam where people let you play your music. Now thunder's rolling in like a drunked-up drummer, heavy on the downbeat, dragging on the backbeat, jacking up the time, messing with your shuffle. But you can't quit now. You got to ride them where you find them. Rope them in before they run. 'Cause your muse is in the porch swing with one eye on the highway. Why, tomorrow that girl might hit the road thumbing, but tonight those blues just keep on coming. Thank you.
That was fantastic. I love it so much. I know poetry is a little bit off the beaten track of what we normally do on Spotlight, but there's such a relationship between it and music, and you have clearly demonstrated the music scene in Livermore where we all just work. I mean, it's such a fantastic thing. Musicians know each other, and we pick each other up and help each other out and try different things together, and something like that song comes out.
Yes.
I appreciate it so much. Do you have, is there a website where people can find your poetry?
Yes, I have a website. It's peggyschimmelman.com.
Okay, excellent.
And I have some poetry there.
Okay.
And I'm going to post more of it on there soon. There's
That's-
also a few poems that I wrote about Livermore that are on the City of Livermore website. And also just, if you Google my name, you know, this sounds vain, but if you Google my name, you can find different publications that I'm in.
Okay.
So I have some poems published online journals too.
All right, outstanding. Well, that was a blast. I really enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you all next time on Spotlight.
My pleasure, thank you.